When we pulled up to my friend Bill Webb's North Carolina commercial hunting farm, my wife spotted a gorgeous tricolor male setter named Albert. He was about 55 pounds with a gorgeous Llewellyn head and a black and brown patch over one eye. He had long legs, a big chest, small hips, and perfect feathers. The only issue with him was the cast on his left leg. On a normal day, Bill's dogs run about a dozen or so miles. During one hunt, Albert completely tore a ligament in his front leg. In a predicament this serious, one that would require extensive and expensive surgery, a dog might be put down. Fortunately for Albert, he was owned by an extraordinary dogman, and surgery was scheduled immediately. An extensive recovery followed an exhaustive rehabilitation. The entire process cost a lot of time, it cost a lot of money, and it took a lot of patience. Albert was only 5, and he still had a lot of life in him. He was capable of working terrain and birds, and he had thousands of bird contacts, which translated into his being an experienced gun dog. His only limitation was that he couldn't run hard for half a day or longer. 6 months later, we brought Albert home. He left behind the Bacola lespedeza, wiregrass, and Johnson grass, and we exposed him to alders, hawthorns, and mountain ash. Albert would experience his first contacts with ruffed grouse and woodcock. It would take time for him to acclimate to his new family and life above the Mason-Dixon line, but he'd fit in fine. And although Albert doesn't fit the traditional description, he is, in a sense, a rescued dog. Rescue dogs. Nothing bad would have happened if we hadn't picked up Albert. He had a good pedigree and would probably have been used as a stud dog. He might have been hunted lightly, or he might have been placed in another bird hunter's home. Commercial hunting operations must maintain the quality of their kennels, but Bill Webb's integrity and high standards are admirable. While there are many similarly minded trainers and handlers across the nation who responsibly place aging or injured bird dogs, others are less sensitive. Dogs that aren't lucky enough to be in that kind of good company oftentimes find themselves kicked to the curb. Some came from outstanding pedigrees, and their owners had high hopes for them as pups. When they don't mature according to plan, and the dogs are moved off the varsity team, they tend to be forgotten. Physical ailments can be problematic for other dogs. Injuries like Albert's ligament tear, broken bones, and other issues such as hip dysplasia, heartworm, and Lyme disease can put the dog in the unemployment line. Still, others who aren't whelping enough or of a high enough quality to extend the lineage are viewed as useless. And there are social and environmental issues to contend with too. Hunting lodges that go out of business can be a big reason for a number of dogs that need new homes. So can the loss of a job, relocation, retirement, and divorce. There are a lot of reasons that owners can't afford to keep dogs, and the list seems to grow every day. With the number of available hunting dogs on the rise, there thankfully has been an increase in the number of groups devoted to placing these dogs in new homes. Rescue dog organizations. Many of the dog rescue organizations began on either a local or a state level. As their procedures and processes took shape, they expanded into regional programs. The Ohio English Setter Rescue, OESR, recently underwent an incredible expansion program. Founded by Susan England in Columbus, Ohio in 2007, the group initially responded to acquiring and placing setters within the state. According to current President Shannon Berry, one of the main reasons I returned to humane work a few years back was because of the incredible group of volunteers that make up this organization and the unwavering dedication of OESR founder Susan England. Susan created a community of setter lovers that maintain a healthy balance of saving setters in need with a good dose of joy and humor that works for all involved. When Susan announced her retirement last winter and the possibility of this rescue splitting up into different divisions, it became clear to many that there was too much good here to let go and that we needed to keep this group going. Thanks to increased supporters and generous volunteers, the OESR has expanded its reach to include the Great Lakes region and beyond. Of the many bird dog rescue leagues, some of them focus on specific breeds. German Short-Haired Pointer Rescue, GSP Rescue of North Texas, Inc., doing business as Texas GSP Rescue, places abandoned GSPs in safe, loving homes. According to its website, we are not a shelter and have no kennel facility. Any dog taken in by our program must have a foster home for the duration of the dog's stay with us before placement in a permanent adoptive home. We are 100% reliant upon volunteers, fosters, and donors to save dogs. As space permits, we cover the entire state of Texas and are the only GSP rescue working in Texas. We also do our best to cover intake in Oklahoma and Louisiana, as there is no GSP rescue in either state. Texas GSP Rescue began in November of 2000 with the work of Diane Hagler out of Denton, Texas. As Hagler began building resources, the German Short-Haired Pointer Rescue of North Texas incorporated and was recognized as a 501c3 in April of 2003. Since that time, the rescue has continued to grow with adopters, volunteers, and supporters. We consider ourselves fortunate to have found as many GSP lovers in Texas as we have. We currently have approximately 30 active foster homes and 20 active administrative volunteers. In 2010, we placed 183 GSPs in loving homes, Hagler said. If you're looking to adopt a pet from a bird dog rescue league, it's important to be sure that you consider what you're looking for. The German Short-Haired Pointer Rescue New England group focuses on shorthairs within the 6 New England states, as well as in eastern New York. Its coverage is extensive, and its efforts are commendable, but the group clearly states that the hunting abilities of their dogs available for placement are not guaranteed. Bird hunters looking for bird dogs need to exercise caution when working with rescue dogs, and proper due diligence is critical to ensure the right dog is adopted. When speaking with any agency, be sure to inquire about training and use histories so that your adopted dog is a suitable match. There is a lot more than just acquiring and placing bird dogs. Lisa Spakowski's Illinois Bird Dog Rescue focuses a tremendous amount of resources on improving health conditions prior to placing the dogs in new homes. Dogs that have been neglected suffer from a variety of health issues. The most common ailments are malnutrition, dehydration, heartworm, and Lyme disease, all of which can be treated. Some of the dogs have been shot, while others have torn ligaments and broken bones. These injuries require additional attention and more healing time. One of our most helpful studies involves tick-borne disease testing and treatment. By studying the ailments that come from ticks, we have been able to help dogs regain their natural hunting instincts. Some rehabilitated dogs resume their hunting careers, while others move on to become field trialers. Susan Ross, the owner of Merry Oak Kennels, is a little bit different. The main focus of her kennel, located in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, is on breeding English setter cover dogs that are well integrated with family life. One of Ross's goals is to ensure pure Llewellyn setter bloodlines, so that every dog she breeds is FSDB registered and DNA tested, so as to ensure the continuation of pure bloodlines. In recent times, Ross has received numerous calls from distressed people who own hunting dogs. It's sort of the case of mistaken identity, in that an owner was not aware of the nuances of bird dogs. When we get a call from someone who is overwhelmed by their dog, we are respectful of their situation, but we never look at a dog as damaged goods. Some may be injured, others may be unwanted, but none of them are second-class citizens. A number of the dogs that come to us are from people who didn't think through hunting dog ownership. Others are injured and unable to live up to the tasks required of them. In either case, the owner is looking to transfer out of ownership responsibility, and that's where we step in. Our extensive contact list means that we are able to match dogs with the right owner. While Merry Oak Kennels is committed to pedigrees and breeds, we never turn our attention away from a bird dog in need. It goes without saying that genetics and lineage are critical in finding a bird dog appropriate to your hunting conditions. Finding, training, and hunting a bird dog coming from an impeccable lineage are among the sweetest moments in the sport. Whenever Albert points a grouse or a woodcock, we celebrate. I believe his points are sweeter because of his history. Republished with permission from Bird Dogs to the Rescue by Tom Keer, 2015. The Upland Almanac, Summer 2015. 2015 by Tom Keer.